30 years ago, I lost the most important person in my life because I was arrogant, impetuous, and foolish. 30 years later, I'm about to jump into an abyssal hell portal to save her. Looks like some things never change. And Varsary, you're done. You just don't know it yet. Shake out an inspiration from the pack as Reeza, Zero, Fiona and I gather around the portal to the abyss. 6 smokes with godlike magic left. Better make 'em count. As I touch the surface of the portal, abyssal symbols crawl up my arm and over my hand. The barrier thins and begins to open. It knows me. Great. Ciara steps from the group to Fiona. I watch as the two sirens mutter in hushed tones to each other. A bloody and battle-worn Jackie rushes over to me.
Wait!
Jackie, I appreciate the support, but you look about ready to topple over. Maybe you should check with Anne for some healing.
I brought you something. I call it the Street Magician Special.
Jackie claps her hands together and opens them up. A deck of cards sits in a palm.
Consider this my way of helping you stack the deck. To follow your thoughts. Not to boast, but it's my best work yet.
Thanks, Jackie.
No, thank you. Come here.
Are you hugging me?
Don't make it a thing. Just come back in one piece, okay?
Anything for you.
And you better ask Eris out when you come back, you hear me?
Like I said, Jackie. Anything for you. Fiona and Ciara are finishing their conversation. I can see Fiona trying to argue, and Ciara placating the sword-wielding siren. Fiona smiles as they exchange a final embrace before Ciara joins our little group of portal-hopping delinquents.
I'll be accompanying you and the others into the portal. Fiona's staying behind. They're gonna need warriors to keep the portal safe for our return.
Fiona looks a little bit ruffled. You two good?
We're good, Valentine. Part of having your partner's back is trust.
Well, it's time to start the show. Reeza, Zero, Ciara. You ready?
Ready as a Fitbit running Doom 2.
I don't know. I'm gonna take that as a yes. Alright, everyone knows what to do. Ciara, when we get on the other side, do your siren thing and blend into the waves of magic. Reeza, Zero, stick by me. We don't know what we're gonna find in there.
Can I bring my incendiary rounds?
Sure, Reeza, bring all the rounds. We'll probably need them. Listen, everyone, I know some of this is about stopping the big-bad monster from gobbling up the city. The other part is helping me rescue Kat and putting yourself on the line for me. I just want to say thanks before we all get murdered or eaten or whatever.
And Varsary messed with the Queen City Supernaturals. She has no idea what I've got in store for her. I'll drop kick her back to the 8-bit era.
We'll kick her abyssal ass like it's pound clock.
What in the world are you talking about?
I can do references too. I'm not just the muscle around here. But I'm also very much the muscle.
You are so cool.
Reeza,
What?
I know what you gave up to be here. I just want to say,
Valentine, you have no idea what I gave up. Don't waste time feeling sorry for me. I don't want it. That freak show threatened my friends, and I'm gonna show her what happens when you mess with the shifters.
You think we're friends?
Sure. You overcharged Furby.
okay, everyone, last chance. This may be a one-way trip.
We all bought round-trip tickets, Valentine. Let's go.
We step through the portal together. An intense pressure slams into us, trying to push us back through. Zero is sparking like crazy. I can see Reeza's animal form flickering in and out of existence, baring its jaws. Ciara's body ripples like water under the onslaught.
Valentine, can you do something? It feels like we're at the bottom of the ocean.
I'm on it. Just trying to remember how to use a bit of abyssal magic. Everyone hold out your hands. Biting my thumb, I wince as I feel blood well up onto the surface. I draw a rune on the back of our hands. With a crackle of magical energy, runes flare to life. And I feel the weight of the abyss bleeding off.
Gross. Cool, but gross.
I'm not sure I like this.
I don't mind getting a bit of blood on me, but abyssal runes?
We're just evening out the pressure, if you take my meaning. With the rune's protection, I can see what the abyss actually looks like. Ruins of buildings and blasted land around us. The ground itself is shifting back and forth, almost sloshing, like a bucket of water. Wait, that can't be right. I look closer.
What the hell is going on with the ground? Are those?
They're ants.
Ah! Get them off me!
Relax, everyone, they're not attacking us. I think they're building something. They've got bits of material in their little chewers.
Oh, emergent network behavior.
Yeah, but it's evil emergent behavior. Don't forget that. They're building something. It's a little ramshackle at first, but as they stack the garbage up high enough, I see something form. A wall. A large round window. My stomach sinks as I realize what they're assembling. The broken fairy sculpture of Titania out front is all I need to confirm. I broke that statue the day I left. Dad was screaming. Mum was crying. I'm bloody home.
Valentine? Are you alright?
I promised myself I'd never go home again. Looks like the abyss has made a liar out of me. Again. Ciara, you know what to do. Ciara unstoppers a small bottle of water and begins to weave shapes in the air with the liquid. The water forms a cocoon around her, then abruptly disperses into mist. She vanishes with it. By now the ants have finished rebuilding my home. It looks just as it did on the day I left it forever. The old door loose on its hinges from me constantly slamming it after a fight. Dad promised he'd always fix it, but he never did. Mum put her Titania statue on the porch to help stop it from blasting open whenever I stormed out. I was always storming out. The door lazily swings open. The smell of my mother's Yorkshire pumpkin cake wafts out. I close my eyes and inhale. Ginger, treacle and oatmeal. Sometimes after I got into it with my dad, she'd cut off a piece and let me dip it in Lyle's golden syrup. My mind floods with memories of home and childhood. Making my knees shake. My breath coming quick, shallow gulps.
Alright, Valentine. What's the plan?
It looks like we're gonna pay a visit to my old mum.
Can't wait to meet the lady that brought you into this world. Is she a hag? Got 6 toes? Did she dance with the devil in the pale moon?
Reeza, enough.
My mum put up with a lot from me. Ash and hells, I was a rotter. Always getting in trouble with Dar for fighting, stealing, or just being a general screw-up. She made sure I paid for it, but she also made sure I knew she loved me. I think it broke her heart when I left.
Think she's waiting in there?
Maybe it's her. Maybe it's something that looks like her. Only one way to find out.
You want us to back you up in there? Say the word.
Nah. This is something I need to deal with. If you hear something going sideways, come save me.
We'll keep watch out here. Don't do something stupid.
Yeah, you're kind of our right home, Wobbles.
The ants that rebuilt this place were thorough. Right down to her old canvases hanging on the walls. The closest canvas, a woman with ink-stained wings holding a red armored knight in the final embrace, is crooked. Gingerly I level the frame. I always figured it was Mum's thing with those fancy romance novels. But now I wonder if she knew me and Anne were meant to meet sometime. My mother's in the kitchen, sliding a pan of gingerbread from the oven. She's wearing that same blue and white apron she'd throw on as soon as she got home from work. Said it was something from her mum. Figured it was a little gift from the old world. Powerful, gut-wrenching sense of loss washes over me as I watch her. I had no idea how much she meant to me back then. I hope she knew, without me saying it, because I never did. She smiles warmly at me and gestures to the kitchen table.
Hello, son. Figured one way or another you'd eventually find your way to the abyss. All the thieves eventually come here, one way or the other. Thought I'd make your favorite treat. I imagine it takes the sting out of dying a little.
Dying? Nah, I'm not dead. I managed to hijack a portal here.
Everyone dies, Pollywog. Not everyone really lives, though. I lived my time as a thief, you know. The magic I found was nothing short of breathtaking. I had so many adventures I never told you about.
I guess I put a stop to that, didn't I? Me and Dad both.
You were a different kind of adventure, Finn. You were who you were meant to be, despite your father's opinion. I loved your strong will and the way you always fought for those who needed it.
And Kat?
That's a difficult ball of yarn to unravel. She and that warden are a right nuisance, aren't they?
Warden? You mean adversary?
Suppose I do.
How do I beat her, Mum? I've got a crew with me who are betting that I can take this Anniversary down, but I barely even know what she is.
She's a stopper in a bottle. A safeguard.
What does that mean?
The first of us, the first thief, he put her in here to make sure none of us find a way back to the world. A glorified guard dog at the gates of the abyss. But guard duty gets boring after a few centuries. She started gathering power. She worked on a way to get out, planting a clue here, a suggestion there, waiting for someone to put it all together, perform the ritual to bring her forth.
Great. So it's my fault.
It's nobody's fault, Finn. If it wasn't you, it would have been the next thief down the line. Or the next. You can place some of the blame on me. I never taught you to defend yourself against creatures like Anniversary. Perhaps if we'd had more time.
In your defense, I'm kind of a lousy student. I tried to do the university thing for a while. Even tried to be a mechanic.
You were always good with your hands. I was hoping you'd be a musician or an artist. Something creative.
My best friend's a tattoo artist. He'd like her. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't be standing here today.
The inked goddess. Her magic hangs about you, Fingal. The thieves who came before you used the raw power of the abyss instead of finding a way to filter and direct it. It explains why you've held out so long. Every time you call on your abyssal magic, you lose a little bit more of yourself to the abyss. And Vasri siphons off that power, takes it for herself. Eventually, there's more of her than there is of you.
So every abyssal spell I ever cast was just making Anniversary stronger.
Aye, even if you stop, it's like cancer eating away at you. By the end, you're grateful to get the release.
And that's how you ended up here?
No, my way here was different, and Vasri made me an offer. She said she'd skip you if I came willingly. I agreed and entered the abyss. She promised she wouldn't claim you. Should have paid more attention to the agreement.
Anniversary didn't need to claim me. She had her hooks in Katarina.
Wobbles! We need help!
No, we don't! Okay, maybe we do.
An ancient, intemperate child and a warrior princess. I'm glad you have such loyal friends. You best get out there, Pollywog. They need you more than I do. Here's some gingerbread for your pockets. Take care of yourself.
I'll see you after the hurly-burly's all wrapped up.
Remember when you'd come home from school and you'd tell me about the girls you were afraid of talking to and the boys you fought for picking on the girls? I told your father that this is what heroes are made of. How even when you were scared, you were always pushing yourself to be something more. I'm proud of you, Finn. There's a little something extra in the gingerbread. It'll weaken the bonds between Vasri and Katarina. If you hit her hard enough, you may be able to burn her right out of your love's body. Now go. I don't want to see you again till you're very, very old with a long, happy life behind you.
So do I just throw the gingerbread at her, or...?
No, you eat it, Pollywog.
My mother rests her hand briefly on my cheek before she turns away. I want to tell her that I love her. To say all the things I never said. But the walls are already dissolving under an onslaught of ants. She dissolves, along with the rest of our home. I stuff a piece of gingerbread in my mouth, chewing as fast as I can. It's just as delicious as I remember. I follow it with an inspiration, feeling its magic burn through my veins. Vasri stands before Reeza, her hand wrapped around the shifter's neck. Reeza is clawing frantically, trying to get purchase on the iron grip. 0 Day zipping around them, clearly at a loss.
Finn! So glad you could join me. You won't believe the rabble that snuck in.
You ain't cat! And it's about high time you show us what you really are, you leech! I take a deep drag off my inspiration. The mixture of murder buzz and spices igniting my magic on a level I've never felt before. With my hand raised high, I blast Vasri with a beam of white-hot fury. Reeza crashes backwards, scooping up her fallen weapon. Vasri raises herself up, ripples of abyssal magic radiating off her. Cat slumped to the ground, hopefully unconscious. For the first time, I can see Vasri's true form, the monster that's been hiding under Cat's skin. And all I can say is...
Took your time, Valentine. This is the 4th version of Cat since you went into the house. Were you having tea and cake?
Actually, yeah,
Oh, well I hope you brought them for everyone.
I did.
Oh, you want to kill this demon then?
I call forth another wave of magical energy, lashing out a whip of flame at our foe. Anvarsary rises from the white-hot destruction. She grins at me through split lips, fat bubbling out of broken skin. Reeza empties both barrels into Anvarsary, sending the flaming mess crashing into the dirt.
404, Mr. Nice Pixie not found! Take this, you friend-having jerk! Ha! Ha! You like that? Have some more! I've got bandwidth! Let's see you come back from that!
The blasted remnants of Anvarsary begin to dissolve into the ground. A pool of shadow bubbles up from the spot like an infernal oil slick. It spreads out over the ground, washing over Cat and covering her up completely. Zero Day, what did you do?
What? Me? I swear this one wasn't my fault!
Well, let's try smacking it with magic then. Usually works. As I call forth another whip of flame, the pool of shadow thickens and starts to form shapes. A ponce in a red duster drags himself out of the shadows, followed by a sleek ferret shifter, and finally, a 2-foot pixie. Shadow Me gives a salute. What a wanker.
Come on, Valentine. We both know we deserve what's coming. Just give up. Stay here in the abyss with us, and we'll let your friends leave unharmed.
Here's a better deal. We kick your shadow asses. I leave here with Cat, and you slink back into whatever cauldron you poured out of.
Oh, you think you're the real Valentine? I got some news for you. You're the one created by Anvarsary. Your memories are just constructs.
Wait, really?
Of course not. I'm just yanking your chain. But I am going to wipe the butt up with you.
Stupid Poncy Shadow Me lashes out with inky tendrils, sending me crashing into the ground.
Let's be honest. Nobody hates us more than us. Just let go. We'll make it fast. Every ancestor before you failed and ended up here. Even your mother failed. The best thing you can do is lose this fight with a shred of dignity. Put us all out of our misery.
Hey, evil drunky pan, dodge this!
Reeza levels her shotgun against Shadow Me's temple. Before she can squeeze the trigger, her shadow self rushes her and lands a solid punch. The former hound reacts as trained, rolling her body against the attack and trying to land a claw against her other self's head. Flickering into ferret form, Shadow Reez lands a massive paw against Reeza's chest. The shifter falls to the ground, blood seeping from her injury. Reeza transforms and rushes her shadow self. Then it's a blur of Reezas throwing blow after blow, but unable to land a single punch. Eventually, real Reeza collapses back into her human form, breathing hard. Shadow Reeza shifts along with her but shows no signs of fatigue. With a brutal kick, she knocks Reeza to the ground.
Losing a fight? What a shocker. Of course you'd lose. After all, we've done nothing but lose for how long? We gave into flack for the shifters. We gave into a human girl to have a relationship. We even gave into this rum-soaked loser over here. Reeza, we were the pirate queen. What happened to us?
Get a therapist, you two! Now go, my 8-bit knights, and conquer!
Zero Day starts fiddling on a little handheld console. Pixelated knights begin to pop up out of the machine, swinging their low-resolution weapons.
8-bit? Weak sauce. We've got more juice than that.
A dragon suddenly appears in front of the knights and scorches them back to pixels. Negative Zero Day sits proud atop of the scaly beast, bearing down on his real-world counterpart. With a gesture, Zero overloads the dragon. It glitches briefly and freezes. Negative Zero drops to the ground, more disgusted than hurt.
Come on! We have power, true power, but we're squandering it on these analog normies. Our own kind don't even know who they really are. You can't even tell Threadripper who you really are, or who she really is. It's so painful.
Not as painful as this!
Zero Day conjures up a set of giant mechanical arms, but before he can connect, a huge metal boot squishes him into the ground and kicks him away.
I know your tricks. I'm you, you're me, and we are here together. Cuckoo Kajoo.
Beatles reference. I love it.
I'm all about that digital media, but it's hard to beat a vinyl copy of Sgt. Pepper's.
I know, right? Something about the warmth of that sound.
Exactly.
It's still gonna kick your butt, though.
Zero! Reeza! Eat these!
Hey!
I dive in and toss 2 pieces of my mum's gingerbread at my friends, calling on my wings to shield them from their shadow antagonists. I feel the heavy clang as magic strikes my wings and try to push as much will as possible to hold them together.
My shadow self fights super dirty. It's not fair. I should be the only one allowed to fight dirty. Gum. What is in this?
Yeah, Shadow Me seems to know a hell's lot more about abyssal magic too.
I could kick your ass any day of the week. Magic ain't so impressive if I hit you before you can call up a spell.
Care to make a bet?
I'm not playing games with you, Valentine.
Wait. Are you? I hate to say this, but I think Wiggles just came up with a good idea.
What? We all fight each other's shadow selves and maximize their advantage over them with the bonus motivation of winning a cash bet? My gods. That's a great idea.
You lot trust me?
Do we have a choice?
Then listen carefully, because we're in for a fight.
Alright, now we gotta go back to Inruas Three Cats. Inruas.